welcome to Trending with Andrea Tantaros. This week for FoxNews.com, the one, the only frontman for KISS, entrepreneur and author of the fantastic new book, Me, Inc., which I have read and I love, and I have a number of copies for friends, the one, the only Gene Simmons. Gene, thanks for joining us here today.
Tikanis.
Kalai, si tikanis. You speak many languages.
Well, you have to.
That.
The first rule of life as we know it on planet Earth is to tell a woman she's beautiful in any language.
Aha! Speaking of women, the one chapter that I really love in this book, Gene, is about women entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And you say something which is pretty controversial. You say women can't have a family and have a career. And you encourage women to wait, put relationships second, and put your career first, because you say women can't do both.
Okay, look, here's the real skinny on, you can't even say that nowadays, but here's the real skinny on life as we know it. Look, let's all agree that women should not depend on men. The statistics tell us predominantly they will run out on you. They'll break up for all kinds of, yes, infidelity, but the other problem is the economics of relationships. It costs so much money to be in a relationship where the men sometimes or predominantly go out and earn the living, that as soon as you have a child, you have to and it's all after-tax money, which means at the highest tax rate, he's got to earn 2-3 times as much money just to be able to break even. So often it's too much, and he's immature. He's in his 20s. He's a little boy. Remember, a few years ago, he had lunch delivered to him by his mom, hot and steaming on the table. Next second, he's got a family and he's got to figure out what to do. So number one, women stop depending on men. The less you depend on a man for emotional but especially financial support, the better off you'll be. So let's take a look at your choices in life. You're a woman, and you have maybe 20 years from the time you're 20 until you're 40, but you can actually have children much younger until you procreate. In other words, more romantically, until you have a child that you want to love. You want to make sure that that child has a household that's full of love, but especially that you can afford to support. Assume the worst. Assume the man runs out on you. We talked about how many tires your car has. You get 5 tires, because the assumption is you will get a flat tire. So assume the man's not going to be there. So why not devote your time, those early years, to making your fortune? Get a career. You can't have it both ways. A career is time-consuming. It is all-encompassing, and you will continue to fail over and over and over again before you succeed. Life is not a straight line, the shortest distance between 2 points. And what I'm here to say is that women think differently than men. Men must work for a living. Women have the option of becoming the housewife, which is respectable and it's wonderful and stuff. But what happens when the man runs away? Do you know how to balance your budget? Because life is a budget. You have to spend less than the amount of money comes in. In fact, the amount of money that's coming in should be much more than the amount you spend. So this is a very complex and difficult question to answer, so I'm going to do it as simply as possible. Women, stop depending on men. It's as simple as that. Imagine there are no men in life. Go out there and make as much money as you can, and you keep 2 jobs, get 3 jobs, get whatever it is. Find out that thing that you're good for that makes the money, and then get married and or have children from a position of strength. That's right.
You know, Gina, when I was reading that really resonated with me, because I feel like I followed your advice almost to a T. Put relationships second. Had them, but didn't take them as serious as I took my career. And I do feel stronger.
You will always have a relationship. You will always be able to fall in love. Where's that one guy? The truth is, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, if that one guy marries somebody else or walks out in your stuff, you'll fall in love again. There will be another one. So
the world is big.
It's a big world, and there are some nice guys out there, but don't depend on them.
Yeah.
Why should you? They don't depend on you. Yeah. Men do not depend on women for anything. Not emotional, well, sex, but if it's not you, then sorry, I gotta go.
You said something funny on Outnumbered. You said the shortest article that men have ever written about women is on what men are thinking about women.
Well, the shortest article ever written by anybody is what men are trying to figure out about us women. Nothing! They don't care at all.
Yeah.
They don't play mahjong, they don't go shopping, they don't care about the shoes. If you're shopping and they'll sit in the corner. There's usually a man corner where they sit while you're
We only have about a minute left, but I want to ask
That's
you
it?
this. You apologize. We'll go a little longer. You talk very honestly about your relationship with Shannon Tweed.
My
You just
wife.
got married. Your wife. You just got married. You were with her for over 30 years, but you talk about, and you're very honest about how you were when you were younger. You say you were arrogant. You say you were selfish. You ran out on her a couple times.
Men
But
are.
I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
You encourage people in this book to put themselves first. Perhaps I, interpreted that as be selfish, put yourself first. But Gene, you had the blessing of a woman who stuck by you, who raised your children. So I read this and I thought, but wait a minute, he's telling me to be selfish, put myself first, but at the same time, he regrets those decisions to be selfish.
It is a massive failing. I was going to say not just of me, but of all men, but you have to take responsibility. It is a massive failing for me that I didn't recognize the purity and the sanctity of love, and why I didn't marry Shannon when I first met her and drop, head over heels with her, is the stupidity and arrogance and selfishness of man. Remember, our entire life we're taught to play football, one again. Always like, I'm out for there's nobody got my back except me. And, we don't respond well to where you're going. Where am I going? Who wants to know? So there's this whole thing. And then all of a sudden it changed. As soon as you leave mom and dad, the last thing men want to do is to answer to somebody else. It's it's an emotional, it's a different social environment. So to be blunt, men are not mature until they're in their 40s or 50s. I'm telling you the truth. We look like grown men. We have hair on our chest. We have deep voices and all this kind of stuff. We're 14-year-old horny boys, and all the rest of you women put on makeup and perfume, and as you walk by, we're visually stimulated.
But you said keep us on a short leash, but you just said men don't like to be asked where they're going or what they're doing.
It doesn't matter what men want. Take control of your life. Take control of your men. Doesn't matter what men want. We don't know what we want because, for 30 years, now it's 31 years, almost 32, I've been with Shannon Tweed. It took me decades to figure out what I wanted. Now, the folly of youth, they say, especially for men. When men look back at their younger years, they go, boy, was I a stupid idiot. Of course, the closer we get to death, the sooner we wake up. But when we're young, especially men, we're invulnerable. You never think about getting sick or stuff. So the decisions a lot of men make is drinking and getting high and smoking and stuff. Never mind that it says right there, listen, idiot, you're going to die from cancer. They all know this. They all know the same things. But men are arrogant. We think we're invulnerable, and women look up to it. We're the strong, you're the backbone of the family. No, we're not. Women are the backbone of the family. Mothers are everything. To men and women. Without mothers, there would be chaos.
Well, this is wonderful advice in this book.
Kid entrepreneurs. Go to that section. Moms, dads, everybody, kids. Go to kid entrepreneurs in there and learn and understand that children understand nothing from school. You don't know what capitalism means, how it works. Don't give them money for nothing. Stop with the allowances. You're getting them used to the entitlement idea. I don't have a job this week, the government's going to send me a check. I banged my knee, insurance is going to take care of that. You don't have to work for... Make believe there's no insurance, no government, no nothing. Do it like her father did. What did your father say to you?
He said you have no excuses. No excuses. You speak the language, you have an education, you have your mother and me. I had nothing. He was homeless when he came here. But he said, go out, don't be afraid to work. He goes, Andrea, people, they not mind readers. You got to ask for what you want. And if they say no, you're not going to die. And you know what? All the people that told me no, some of them even in this building, told me no, but guess who told me yes? Roger Ailes, the CEO. Finally, I got a yes, but I didn't stop until I did.
Every athlete will tell you they fail more times, many more times than they succeed. And how many times do boys ask out girls and they get no? Just keep swinging the bat. You'll hit it sooner or later. Everybody's failed. You know who's failed? Henry Ford, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg. Everybody. I fail every day. But the thing that makes you win is what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yes.
Women, Steve Harvey was right. You know that title? Not in all things. It's a good title. You know the title of his book?
Yeah.
What is it?
Act like a man, or act like a woman, think like a man. I love that book.
Start off with Think Like a Man.
Think like a man, act like a lady.
That's better, because, there was another book, Women Are From Mars, Men Have Penis. That should have been the real.
That's a good book, too.
That's not what the title was.
Both books are must-reads, but this one really is a must-read. In it, one of my favorite phrases, the harder you work, the luckier you get. You write that. Me Inc., it's fantastic. I read it up, gobbled it up in one evening. Everybody go get it. Gene Simmons, thank you so very much.
My pleasure.
Honor.
That's a very good handshake.
Thanks. Always, that's another key. Strong handshake.
There's no namby-pamby there.
None of these limp. Thank you for tuning into Trending this week. I'm Andrea Tantaros. We'll see you next week.